It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Tyler Luke set to kick off.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading them out is their quarterback, the young man out of UCLA.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week and never than near in the end zone.
Yeah, boy, and it's tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. They'll find McMillan here. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 36 yards on the play.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. To the left side, he's got McMillan. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be second down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Back to throw again. On the arc, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mike Green just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
It's second down.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road.
At the 4-yard line.
He's going to try and do this himself. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 8 on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, You talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. But you look at this defense. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
11 yards there, 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Ow, what's that? What? Tony.
Stroud to throw it. To the right side, catch made by Buka. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's Stroud. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
On 1st down, Whitfield. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
All right.
They'll keep it on the ground. Whitfield. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
Here we go.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack and to stop him short of the 1st.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
Robinson hauling it in outright. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 47 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Go.
Jacobs going to try the middle. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Lake. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. A 38-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3. I'm not sure that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all. But the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us? Let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. I mean, he's been solid here in the early part of the season, currently ranked in the top 5 amongst NFL quarterbacks in passing yardage. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Looking middle, and he's got Ibuka. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
On the quick, right? 118. What's up?
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Goes in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
At the 41-yard line.
Here we go.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Stroud out of the gun here. Oh, that is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
All right. 18. That's it.
Stroud. He's got his receiver. That's Ibuka. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
18. That's it.
4th down. Here's Stroud. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in for the touchdown. And now Mitchell, 49 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights. And we are even at 10 apiece. So this drive spans 7 plays.
Tyler Luke set to kick off.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They go. No, fumble. It's out. It's loose. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And it's Luke for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. Looking for a bounce back, had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Off the play fake. Lake. And this one complete to Smith. And this is picked up by the defense. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it, They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
On for the field goal. A 19-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
They'll take over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And his throw here is incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lake. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
All right.
They'll run on 1st down. Whitfield. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Give him 18 on the play. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as it used to be, huh?
He'll find Metcalf. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. DK Metcalf with career touchdown number 60. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Visitors 10. Tyler Loop set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, Loop back out to kick this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing to start the drive. Lake. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll come out with a 4-receiver set. 3rd and 9.
A gain of 1. Brings up 3rd down.
Operating from the gun. Lake. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Throwing now is Stroud. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here we go, let's go. 18.
And Stroud now to throw. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
That's a gain of
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to find the open there. That's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Don't worry. 18. What's that?
Stroud will look to throw once more. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Stroud looking to throw. Open man is a Booker. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. So these two teams off to their locker rooms for intermission, and that means we go to Orlando. Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
where they went to the tunnel with a lead, they come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
On the tweak, right?
Up the middle they go. Whitfield. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Stroud. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Under pressure, they got him again. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Back to throw. Stroud. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They can now afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
Fielded at the 30. Now a hit and a loose football. Inside the 20. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. Luke now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now this offense about ready to take over again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
It's a gain of 20 and a first down.
Let's go now.
Looking to throw. Lake. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Just short of midfield.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. Back to throw. Lake looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Lake. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Derek Harmon able to record his 5th sack of the season. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Looking to put a drive together.
Here we go. Let's go.
He'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and a yard.
On the quick, right?
Operating from the gun. Stroud. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And he's got room. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Whitfield. And a solid run down inside the 30. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Robinson up the middle. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
All right. What's up?
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here we go. At 18. What's up?
Now a handoff up the middle. Whitfield. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Oh, right. 18. What's up?
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Stroud. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
But now this offense comes back out onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Looking to throw. Lake. Across the middle, he finds Robinson. It'll be a pickup at 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you love looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29. A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Stroud working out of the gun. And he slings one that's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. On his loop for the extra point. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, loop back out to kick this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 38 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Let's go.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, a solid stiff arm and some open field. Inside the 10. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead's down to 24.
Visitors 20.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it.
Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. And this one is incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at triple zeros. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
From the gun on third down, Lake. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll look to throw here on first down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Lake. Going quickly there, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Lake. Robinson's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
James Daniels, the guard, called for the penalty there.
Still 3rd down.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. And it's incomplete. They could not convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
It's caught. Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
It's a gain of 11.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and this coaching staff